All
Nice.
right.
Thank
Feel free to do that.
All right, so we're gonna, if anybody's a co-host, you have to admit or accept that we're recording. We don't want to forget to record so that this will be uploaded onto our private YouTube channel so that you can all see this again in our future. And so we are so darn excited to start the new year. And we have a brand new president. Let's highlight our brand new president. I don't know where you went. Oh, there you are, right in the middle.
you.
And so introduce yourself, Paulette. Take
Yes,
the
my
show
name is
away.
Paulette Nazarick. I'm the new president, 2026. I've been on the board for a few years, and I've been a member for, I don't know, maybe 8 years or so. I can't remember exactly. But I am so excited to be part of this organization as a member and as a board representative. So we have some fabulous people that work on the board. And I'd like to thank Jan Carlson from she's been on a president for like 3 years. Plus, she's been on the board holding many positions. That's one interesting about our board. Most of them have gone or new, and some people have been on, like Becky, I think, how many years have you been on the board?
I
13
joined
years?
in 2011.
2011. She's been holding a board position, rotating. So Becky is freed. She's also going to be working with the member at large. And we had Marlene Morrison, who's also is on our board. But we have Nanita Norton, which is going to be the president, the vice president. So she's going to help me when I'm not here in Minnesota. Excuse me. And then we have Sue's Clum, which is our fabulous membership person. And we have Lynn Olson, which is our treasurer. Excuse me. And we have Kathy, which is our secretary. And we have Amanda, which is our member at large. And so we also have quite a few people that are on committees as well. Excuse me. I don't know where this cough came from. So again, I am so excited to ring in the new year with making Toho peace ring chains for our August 6th grand connections. So everybody make some chain. And just a reminder, we will be having a beat and chat on January 10th, 11 o'clock Central Time till about 1 o'clock. And we're basically just going to be talking, sharing some ideas and making our peace ring chain. So we're also going to do that in February 21st, and you will receive an email message from me with the links, and we'll also be putting that on the website as well. So we just want to keep our momentum going and be connected with everybody through January and February, and we'll see how it goes. I may do more throughout the year. Excuse me. So again, I sent my very first president message out there to you guys in an email. So I have some put my email at the end. Feel free to contact me anytime if you have some ideas, things you would like to share. I'm my door, my phone, my laptop, it's open. So just be in contact with me. I'd be love to hear from you. And we have some great new members. Or Darvia, she's joined our Zoom. She's a brand new member. Glad to have that she's here. We have Cynthia Rutledge as a member. We got Mary A. Johnson from Independence, Missouri. That's close to where I live. And we have an honor, which I will not say her last name because I'm not sure, I'll probably mess it up. But she's from Coon Rapids. We have Darvia, we have Karen, and we have Susan, and we have Candace. So we are excited that we have some new members. And again, if you're interested in finding out any information that you don't see on the website or whatever, just contact me and we'll help you out. So that's thank you so much. And thank you, Rochelle and Hannah for doing our Zoom tonight and Vicki MacTavish as well for being our speaker.
Yeah, we're so darn excited. There's just so much fun going on this whole year, and we're excited to start it off. Are there any other announcements before we introduce our amazing speaker?
Is Grace here?
Grace is not here yet. So yes, who wants to talk about the retreat and remind people about the retreat for Grace?
I can talk about the retreat.
Okay, we're gonna highlight you once more again then. Sorry.
I have to look up the dates. Who knows the
Yeah,
dates?
I don't
It's off
remember
the
what
top of
the
my
dates
head. I don't have it written down.
Okay, I got the dates. Hang on.
Okay. So let's talk retreat. So Upper Midwest Beat Society has fabulous 2 retreats every single year. And we have 25 to 35 people that come and stay from a Wednesday to Sunday. And we talk, we chat, we have classes. So many classes. Doris always teach quite a few. Maggie's came and taught a class.
Lisa
has taught a class.
did.
And we eat a lot.
Yeah,
And we eat a
lots of
lot.
good eats.
The
We
facility
share
is
ideas.
fabulous. We have a full refrigerator that we in the counter space that we can bring food and eat. And the
And
food
shopping.
we don't have to
Yeah.
cook, it's catered. And the rate for doing this is so inexpensive. So if you've never participated in a retreat, talk to us, find out about us, join us. It is fabulous.
You come home very inspired because you
Yes.
share ideas.
So, Jan, what are the dates again?
March 18th through the 22nd.
Okay, thank you so much. I have it on my calendar, but I didn't want to take time to look it up. So again, I cannot express it's so much fun to participate in the retreat. And the thing of it is, we always have people that do all different things. Sometimes people knit, sometimes people are working on metal, all sorts of things. It's not, and then beading. So anyway, thank you.
Becky has something.
I just want to say, Darvia has been trying to get into our Facebook group, and I'm not sure who lets people in, but
And so what we need to do is partially is you have to be friends with one of our administrators. And if you're not friends with one of us, so we'll figure out who it is, and then we're going to send you friend requests, Darby. All of us will send you friend requests. So then we can invite you to the group. Otherwise, you can also just go to Upper Midwest Bead Society membership 2026 and answer the questions and request to go in.
she got a request, but no, but it hasn't went through, and it's
I'll
been
take
quite
care
a
of
while.
that then.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we'll go and double check.
Thank
Yeah, I'll
you.
take care of that.
That's all I wanted.
And then any of the other new members, Vicki, everybody will be inviting you to our private Facebook group. But yes, you have to also be friends with one of our admins. And we're working on adding more admins. We just need to contact Rob Elliott, who set up our Facebook, I don't know, 15 years ago, and find out what the password is. Because we
don't
can't
know
do
what it
anything.
is.
We can't do anything without the password.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what we figured out finally how to do it, but that's what we're lacking. So we appreciate your patience. And for those old board members who might be getting emails or notifications, texts, approval codes, things like that, if you were there once, we appreciate you and thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
Rochelle,
Doris, oh yes.
I think Tori Bazina might still be in contact with Rob. Because
Okay, otherwise I was gonna reach out to Ricky.
Yeah,
But
they
I'll
work
but I'll
together
talk
at
to
Dakota
Tori too.
Stone.
Thanks for the thing. Okay, so we want Doris to highlight spotlight for everyone. There you go.
I actually set up the Facebook page.
Oh,
You
know
did.
what?
You did?
So what's
And-
the password?
Call me tomorrow or
Okay,
something.
I'll call
Okay,
you.
great.
I was gonna write down call me.
Yeah.
Super duper.
I'll call you, Doris.
Great. That's great news.
Oh my
Because
God, thank you.
I think it's just the one that I use. So
Well, and that's what we weren't sure if it was
yeah,
just any admin or the one that started it, but everything we've
yeah.
tried doesn't
Yeah.
work so
Yeah,
far.
great. I'm glad that
Or
we,
if you
that's
or who do you want to add it as admin, and I can just add them.
Well, we want to remove Barb because Barb has put in a lot of years on things. And then
You can
there
add
was
me.
why
and
don't we
but
talk about this tomorrow? Let's
we'll
get
do
to
Yeah,
our
that
We'll
tomorrow.
talk
But
yeah,
we
about it
want to add
tomorrow.
our new president is
yes.
mostly.
yeah.
So we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you, Doris.
I'm
We
so
knew we'd
excited
find
about
it
that.
out. Oh my gosh. So then where did you go, Hannah? There you are. And then we'll spotlight you and then we'll spotlight Vicki. And so, oh my gosh.
And just
Sometimes
as
it's
a reminder, we are not doing Saturday Bead Lives in January and February. We're taking a little break, but in February, we're going to introduce Creative Indigenous. Melissa is going to be speaking to us in February, and March, we're getting Helena.
yeah.
So we start our Saturday Bead Lives again in March with my friend Helen O'Donnell. Now Vicki has agreed to speak to us about buttons today, and I'm so excited about this because I miss bead and button. We've been all beads and no buttons for a while here. And Vicki is the president of the National Bead Society. I'm sorry, the National see what I did?
Yes.
National Button Society. And that Button Society is dedicated to teaching people all about buttons and um, and sort of spreading the love about it. So thank you so much for being with us today. And take it away, Vicki.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for having me. I see a couple of names that I know. I saw Susan Calkins come in and Nancy Miller. I see her and that's like old home day. Sorry for the raccoon eyes because I've been wearing my sunglasses in the pool, because it's 85 down here. Ooh.
Rub it in.
I'm sorry. I had to say that.
It's okay. Send us some warmth this way.
Okay, I will. When you guys invited me, I was thrilled and honored to do this. And I thought, well, what'll I talk about? And they said, well, talk about anything you want to talk about. And I said, well, okay, I'm going to talk about my favorite buttons. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing lacy glass buttons. And I am thrilled to talk about my favorite buttons. So you can't get any better than that. And I'm going to make sure I get this all up and working right, hopefully here. And I'll do play. And okay, there we are. We had our little dress rehearsal earlier or late last week, and I lose my cursor when I turn on the PowerPoint. And if anybody knows the secret to unlosing my cursor when PowerPoint's up, please call me later. Anyway, these are a few of my favorite things. Not raindrops, not roses, but lacy glass buttons. And I changed the first slide, so it's Midwest Bead Society, and I am thrilled to be here with you guys tonight. And I think if you don't mind, I would like everyone to stay with an open mic, and we'll take questions as we go, or you can write them into the chat, and I'll stop every once in a while. But I think we'll keep this as informal as we can.
I love that.
Yeah. Now it isn't even advancing. This is the kind of stuff that always drives me crazy. Too. Click, click. You hear that ding, ding?
Shall we restart it? I'll get you out of there and then we can restart it and see what happens.
Yes, please do.
Okie
That would be
dokie.
great.
That sounds good. So in order to restart it, I unfortunately have to take over for a minute. Oh, there's the National Button Society.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it now. I
Yeah,
can. I'm good. All right.
okay.
Yay.
So
See glass buttons, what are they? They are still made today in the Czech Republic, and the lacy
We
glass.
don't see anything. You're
we're gonna have to
sharing.
you're gonna have to reshare. Sorry about that. When
Oh,
I share, I kicked you off.
oh, okay.
So go ahead and start reshare again.
Well, let me find a cursor. Let's see what I can do here. If I go back into here, go back into Zoom and share, and here, and here.
There it is.
Let's hope we can keep it, right?
Hey.
All right, continue to share. Yes. All right. They're still made today in the Czech Republic. So the ones that I'm going to show you today are over 100 years old. I will show you some modern ones. And I'm imagining that a lot of your beads come from the Czech Republic. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought. So these are made very similar to probably the way that some of the beads are made. Hot molten glass is pressed into molds, and then the shanks are put in place. Most of the lacy glass buttons that we're going to see today have what they call a four-way box shank. I'll show you one of those. Or sometimes a two-way box shank. And they're little brass shanks that set down into it. It looks just like a little Christmas package, if you would, and instead of a loop shank, which you're familiar with most buttons having. So once they're pressed, then a back treatment is given. And most lacy glass buttons, and I'm going to say about 90% of them, get their color from the paint that is applied to the back, not from the solid color of the glass. But when it is from the solid color of the glass, we call it a full body lacy. Oh, and it worked. I love it when things work. This example, it really gives you a good idea of the paint showing through. And you can see the stippling, which is part of being a lacy glasses. It has that stippling fine detail on the front. And early button collectors thought that it was sandwich glass, which was very popular at the time. And so what they did was they scraped all that stuff off the back of them because they wanted them to be clear like sandwich glass. So you'll see a lot of lacy glass that we refer to as a bare naked lacy, and that an early collector did us a disservice by doing that. This one is unusual in that it's got several colors in the back, and where you don't see any paint, like at about 10 o'clock, you can see the yellow is gone. You can see the clear glass through there, so it gives you an idea of that this color is all given from the back paint. So let's take a look at the back to really understand the lacy glass button. On the clear back, like this one is, you can see the four-way box shank, and the thread grooves are four-way, which means that you could sew it on two different ways or four different ways and really anchor it well. Then a layer of silver is put on for reflection. You can't hardly see all that yellow and blue and red paint that we saw when we looked at the button on the front side. So then it's covered with this little silver layer. And then a black layer is added on for protection. So there's your final look of an original lacy glass button that hasn't been repainted or hasn't had it scraped off. You can see where the black is worn off from this. And you can also see where instead of a white paint, they used a gold paint on this. And sometimes they use a silver paint and then black on the back. This is a modern Czech lacy glass button, and you can see it loses some of its sharpness, even though they use some of the same molds that were used 100 years ago. It loses its sharpness, detail is gone, and when you look at the back, you can really tell what's going on. The backs of the buttons is where you learn what really you need to learn. This shows you the swirly swirl back cone of the back shank. And it also shows you like a spray paint that's usually a color rather than the back treatment that you see on the old buttons. And it's always a loop shank that sets up on this little cone. So that's your modern one. And modern ones are beautiful and very collectible. You can pick up modern ones sometimes for anywhere from $8 to $12 a piece. And you could start a really nice collection of modern check lacy glass buttons. Size matters. I love this. You guys looking down. Mine's bigger. No, mine is. Well, they're really looking at their files, the plaintiff versus the defendant, but always measure. And I see Andrea has her hand up. You have to unmute, Andrea.
There we go. I unmuted. Can you define the terms, the stippling and sandwich glass, and like what defines the lacy glass in particular?
Lacy glass in particular is defined by fine stippling, which you want me to further define. Fine stippling on the front and the back paint on the back. And stippling is, there's little tiny marks that come up like little nubs on the design of the button. And so it's not smooth and a carved in design. It's like a dimensional little stippling thing. Sandwich glass looked very much like that. I went to Sandwich Museum this summer. They did not make buttons ever. So I clarified that. Sandwich glass looks, they made sugar casters and sugar and creamer sets. And it was more like bigger design. They didn't make the small buttons. Did that answer your question, Andrea?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So we're going to talk about size. And the National Button Society has their own measure. And if it falls through that 3/8, it's a diminutive. If it falls through the 3/4, then it's a small. If it falls through the 1 1/4, it's a medium-sized button. And if it doesn't fall through that, it's a large. And that's how we measure. And when we get into competition, I'll talk a little bit about that later, size matters. And the little measuring device to the right was one that was created by a man, Lindsay, and it's not accepted as a formal measure, but it will come down on a button to measure it from the top down. And it's much easier when they're all on a card. And you'll see what I mean when I get into this a little more. You get what you pay for. Smaller buttons are usually cheaper. Larger buttons are most expensive, then medium buttons, then small buttons. But it's always a but, right? Rarities throw the rules out the window, and sometimes little gems can set you back a coin or two. I'm pointing to some of the quite rare, very small lacy glass buttons, the leaf being a realistic, meaning that the button is the shape of what it's depicting. And below that, we've got a modified square, and I believe above that is an oval. And you can see these buttons all in medium and in large for most of these designs. Okay. Always hopeful for a sleeper. Aren't we all? I don't know. Do you have sleepers in the bead world? Is there such a thing as a sleeper? Do you know what a sleeper is?
No, what is that?
A sleeper is when you're in a normal sales setting and somebody doesn't know what they're doing when they priced them, and they've got this really rare little tiny lacy glass button for $15 and it should be $200. That's a sleeper. So you're always hunting for a sleeper.
There's no sleeping with Doris around.
Doris talked about a sleeper that she found in an estate sale recently.
Did she?
Yeah.
All right. Was it an antique sleeper?
Yeah, I buy estates, and it was a sterling silver Tiffany bracelet.
Oh, okay. That was a nice sleeper.
Yes.
So let's explore my buttons. I've given you a little bit of a background. Here's the sunset done in lacy glass. Love the fine stippling. See all that little tiny design and lines that are going through it. And if you feel it, it's very rough around the edges. And this is clear glass. You can see where some of the paint at about 8 o'clock is worn off. And you don't see any more color there. And you can see that it's clear glass. And it's got the back treatment. And sometimes this is referred to as sunset and sometimes sunrise. But it's a really pretty button and it's a counter on a tray for competition. And a counter means that it's going to fulfill several categories. In button collecting, we look for a whole bunch of different things, shape, size, and then we look at 4 pictorial sections. And so because this is a scene, it counts as one of the pictorial sections. And if you cover all 4 pictorial sections on a tray that's for competition, and you get in an oval, and you get a couple of different back types, and if you get a back mark, oh, glory, you're golden, and make sure you tell the judges you got it. Then you're on your way to maybe earning something besides a measle. What's a measle? Well, in the button world, when we compete, if you put a button on there that's not a lacy glass button, or if the competition called for all Division One, which is all before 1918, or yeah, I think it's 1918. So let's say you put a modern lacy glass button on your tray, it would come back to you with a little paper sticky dot right where you made the mistake, and they call that a measle. And it's really hard when you're first competing to not get a case of the measles. And I've had a lot of cases of measles, so I know what I'm talking about. This is the large leaf, and I also have it in small, and it wasn't made in medium. And it's a beautiful button, and it's got faux stainless steel painted. They look like little silver studs on it, and it's got an Aurora Borealis over finish. And I think this one is clear glass, but I also have it in black glass.
It's gorgeous.
This one is a real favorite of mine. This is a large oval, which is actually harder to find than the large leaf. And I did a lot of research on this button. The extra large ovals are really hard to come by. And so last year I went and found everybody that had one and traced it back to who they bought it from. So sort of like doing genealogy of a button. And I traced it back and I got it to a NERBA show, which is the Northeast Regional Button Association in New England. And it was about 1980. A man came in and he had immigrated from Austria, and he had a suitcase, and in the suitcase he had all of his salesman's samples of lacy glass buttons. And on one of the cards, which was a whole card of ovals, there was like 5 extra large, and then 5 large, and then 5 medium, and then 5 small. So I'm not sure how many of those cards there were, but I've only been able to locate 5 of the extra large ovals. I acquired my second one last year and traced it back, talked to some of the old timers that were dealers at the time, and they all told the same story. This guy came in to a Massachusetts show, so it's kind of fun. I do genealogy of buttons. That's a ball. This is a large spindle, and although it appears red, it's actually lavender glass. And I did not know it. I competed with it and entered it as a clear. And the judges were very nice to tell me that it was actually a beautiful lavender glass. So how do you tell if you've got a solid body button versus painted back? Well, here's a red glass, and if you hold it up to the light like I'm doing, and you can see the red through the areas on the side where the back paint hasn't come up, you can catch a glimpse of a solid color under there that's not being caused by reflecting of the back paint. So when you compete with lacy glass, you want as many solid body colors of glass as you can get on a tray. The back sides matter too. Make sure it hasn't been repainted. The repaints are often matte instead of shiny and off colors. Doesn't destroy the value, but it affects the value. This peacock, medium size, and although it's lost most of its brilliant, beautiful colors, because I've seen somebody that is lucky enough to have one with full color, it's clear glass, but it's a real counter because of the material. The peacock itself is really hard to come by. So I compete with this poor forlorn, paint washed off little peacock, and he's served me well. Someday I'll get a real colorful one, but not right away, I guess. This button came to me quite by surprise. 2 years ago at the New York show, Millicent Safro, who owned and ran Tender Buttons out of New York City, sent it along for me to look at. I've never seen anything like it. It is not in Joy Journay's book on lacy glass. It's still got its original paint all the way around, and paint on the front of a lacy glass button is very unusual. It's usually a luster that's on there, or the paint is on the back, but fine paint on the front. And this is pierced. So the holes go all the way to the back. And when you turn it over, it looks just like the ones I was just showing you. I mean, it's got all the back treatment, the silver back treatment, and then the black. And it's a gorgeous, exceptionally rare button that I'm pleased to own. This also is another real rarity. It's a pin shank lacy glass button. And the center is a stone, a rhinestone or a paste that's been set in prongs. All the rest of those are faux stones. And there's a little, there's a mold that looks like a stone that comes up, and then behind it, they've put foil. And so the foil makes it look like it's a real little rhinestone, but it's not. This one's got a crack up at almost at 1 o'clock. It's got a full plate back. It's not going to look like the rest, and it throws a lot of people off. There is the back of it. And see, the metal plate goes the whole length, and then the shank is now a loop shank that attaches up to that stone that you saw. So a real counter on a competition tray. This is full-bodied red in a large size, and you can see where the back paint has worn off around the edges. You see the real brilliant red color, and it looks darker everywhere else. So if it hadn't worn off, I don't think I would have turned it sideways to look. I mean, they're very misleading. So my full-bodied red. A very rare Minerva that came to me 3 years ago from out in your area. I purchased this from, you guys might know, yeah, right, Gary Brockman and John. I don't know if you know him, if he comes to beach shows. Anyways, this has a dark brown stain, and because it's mythology and because it's a woman and a person, it counts in that. Remember, I told you the 4 pictorial areas that are nice to represent on a tray to get all your points. This is full-bodied yellow, and yellow is the most challenging color to find. If you turn it sideways and get it just in the light just right, you'll see the yellow all the way through it. And it's a beautiful button that came to me from Shirley Clark's collection in New York. Andrea.
This is so fascinating. I had no idea that you compete with them, which just in my mind makes it so cool. Can you just speak a little bit about like how you build your collection? Are you specifically seeking out like certain buttons that have different techniques, or like when you say that it comes to you, like is it destiny, or are you
Yeah,
like kind of
yeah.
following, like you were saying, the lineage and then seeking them out, or it's just like, oh, this is really pretty, and then you figure out like it's
In the
where it
beginning,
came
it was,
from.
this is really pretty and I want it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I began to discern and study and learn a little bit more about it. And I learned that to really compete, I needed the full body yellow, but you also have to keep watching for what's on the top of the button too, and what's on the back, because you get points for all of these things that I'm talking to you about. And then they add them all up and they compare them to the next person, and either you get a first, second, a third, or a measle, or a nothing. Um, the ones that have come to me, the very rarest, and you're going to see the very rarest button in button land as far as glass buttons I acquired. People call me and they say, oh, I know you're really into lacy glass. I've got this, but it's expensive. And you're like, well, I knew that was coming. A couple of the buttons, a dealer, they always come to me under the table now, the rare ones, because they don't put them out. Um, and it's really interesting. Or I'll get a letter that says, I'm ready to part with something or other. And yeah, so I've been very lucky, very, very lucky. Or somebody gets one of the dealers gets a whole collection and they'll call me. And they say, it's loaded. It's an original collection. It's loaded from so-and-so and so-and-so who competed in Lacy glass. And you want to have first pick or whatever. So
So you're now the
kind of fun.
unbeatable lacy glass competitor.
Yes.
No,
You know
no
what?
comment.
Yes. Yeah, I am. The only tray, the funny thing is I have a real, I don't like to take buttons from one tray and put them on another to win again. So maybe it'll be for 25 various buttons and it would be large, medium, and small. And then the next year it's going to be all large. Well, I don't like to take any of the trays, the buttons off my winning tray. It's on the wall, it's got my ribbon, and I'm done. So I have to start from scratch, which has been fun. Poor me. I have to go out and, search again to do another tray. And one summer, my granddaughter, who's just finishing vet school and loves lacy glass and competes against me, beat me 3 years ago on the large lacy, because I had given her my duplicate pin shank so that she could win. Hi, Nancy. And that was fun. How are you?
Good.
You got a question.
Well, it's not so much a question as it is a statement. Um, when she's talking about buttons and competing and the various and assorted things, I've found that the only thing crazier than a crazy bead person is a crazy button person.
Yes, and I just remembered I was going to wear your necklace. Oh, darn. Before I finish, I will go and get that necklace on. I'm honored to have been able to acquire one of Nancy's beautiful beaded button necklaces that she won a blue ribbon on 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Nancy,
All
kind of to
right.
your point about crazy button people, I feel like I have found my new community.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Mhm.
I had no idea this existed.
Oh, it is so much fun. Um, Around the world, there's button collectors, and they all come to our convention, but no other country competes except America. We're the only ones that love to compete. Others just do trays for their own enjoyment, and we do them to beat our friends.
Heck yeah,
And
we're winners.
several of us saw Nancy's necklace as she was working on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I was gonna
bet.
say, we've all had the pleasure at some point sitting at retreat watching Nancy work on a beaded and or a button necklace and we always walk and ask her questions about her buttons and her collection, and It's fabulous. So much fun. to see
She
her
was
work.
brand new to
Imagine.
buttons 2 years ago, right, Nancy? 3 years ago?
Oh,
Oh, no.
I've been collecting buttons forever,
Oh, you
but
in
I've
school.
gotten much more involved lately.
Okay. Okay. We met him for the first time. Doris.
Vicki, I lead tours to the Czech Republic, and about a half a dozen people on this Zoom call have been to the factories with me and seen buttons being made.
Oh, Doris, I'd like the address of those. I'm going to Bulgaria in September to the Golem Studios. He's a beater. Do you know
Oh,
him?
yeah.
Vlad, okay, I'm going to Vlad's house for a week, and then we're gonna fly over to Prague, and then we're gonna drive over to the Jablonic Museum. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And that
Well, it's
is,
actually Jablonex.
yep, Jablik.
Jablonex.
Yeah,
Lanet.
wow, Jablonek. Okay.
Jablonet.
And I can't wait. That's my bucket list. I mean, I can't wait. So, Doris, I want you to keep in contact with me. We need to chat. Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, I'll move on. And this one is a really unusual little button that came to me. It's solid blue, it's cobalt blue, with silver and pink luster on the front and four butterflies, not just one. We got four. And because it's square, think of the number of points you can rack up with this one button. Animals on lacy glass are hard to find. Square is more unusual. Full body cobalt blue with two lusters. Be still my heart. Oh, yeah, this is a great little button. This is just absolutely a gorgeous button. It's an extra large clover, and it's got a little baby clover tucked in its stem, and it's got the gorgeous aurora colors, and it looks like faux cut steels all the way around it, and it's also a realistic shape. So think of the number of points you can rack up with that little baby. Amber glass, turn it sideways, and it's a brown glass. This particular button is one that everybody that's going to collect lacy glass needs to find, and it's not all that hard to find. I've got 3 or 4 of them, and I put one on every tray because it is the only lacy glass button with a back mark. So, and it's faux tortoise, and it's got the impressed patented back mark. Sometimes found with black paint, little dots to give it the faux tortoise look, and other times no. And it's one of the very few, and it may be the only. No, I have some tiny ones that have self shank, so that's unusual too. Here it is with its self shank made of glass, and it's got the gold treatment first, and then the black paint, and you can see the word patent on it. So you put it on your tray, but if you don't write back marked, you don't get the point, because they're not going to take these buttons off your tray to look unless they think you're fibbing. Then they would. Okay, my very favorite
Ooh.
button.
Oh my God.
Extra large border of bows. And when you get that in the sunlight, it just sparkles. It's got all the aurora and light blue and pink shades that just float through it. And it was my very first rare purchase that took my breath away when they put it in my hand, and then took my check away too. It was just, I couldn't leave it. I mean, they brought it, and it was near the end of the show, and yeah, after I spent all my money, right? He says, I want to show you something. You said you wanted one of these, and hold out your hand. I was behind the dealer's place. I held out my hand, and he put it in my hand, and oh my God, I did. It was just, yeah, like a kid getting their favorite toy for Christmas. I was just beyond happy. So I love this border of bows. And you could use it on a competition for borders, rare buttons with different borders.
Also bows.
And bows. Yes, think of the places you can use it. That's really special. All right, this is a medium size claw, which is very pretty. It's got some real pretty pink tint. It's a counter because it's an object. And so, you think of it as an animal's foot, but it's not. It's claw, so it's counted as an object. And this one with its color, it's not full bodied. That pink is coming from a light pink stain on the back that comes through. And then it's got that shiny gold luster on the actual claw part. This is the one everybody talks about. This is the realistic lacy glass corn. There is only 5 of these in existence. It is clear glass. It's got a gold and silver luster. It's large size. And if it's to be, it'll come to you. No use looking for one. You'll never see it out on a table. Because when somebody decides to sell it, you must have gotten the word out that you would like to own one sometime. And so when somebody decides to sell it, they'll approach you. And I was approached on this. So it was a glorious birthday about 2 years ago when I got the call. And the funny thing is you are sworn. Almost everybody I know that owns a corn, and I now know who's got all 5 of them. It took me a long time because people are very secretive. They don't want anybody to know they've got the corn. Mainly because the corn sold for $12,500 about 12 years ago. And that's a documented price at a page auction. I did not pay that much. But because it was so expensive, nobody wanted anybody to know they had it, and very quiet when they go to sell it. And I was sworn to secrecy, never to tell where I got my corn from. Now, I mean to tell you, the serious collectors, they've already nailed it. They know where it came from because they've been following it for the last 20 years. But it's okay. It's fun. Realistic greasy glass corn.
Like you say, it's glass. Will they break if you drop them?
Absolutely. Smithereens.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Gone. Absolutely gone. This is a medium-sized button with the full color. It's not a full body, but it's got really vivid color. It came off a salesman's sample card that a dealer, Bruce Beck, got. I believe he was at your bead show in Wisconsin. Does that ring a bell? And a dealer came through with buttons, and the first person that he approached could not afford all of them. And so Bruce Beck bought the whole suitcase full and then brought them to, I think it was in Portland 5 years ago. He brought all of those cards with these beautiful mint condition laces. And I wish I'd bought more. I bought all I thought I could afford at the time. And now I wish I'd bought more because they were just mint. And this crown was one of them. There is probably, I'm going to venture a guess at 10 different styles of crowns. Bishops' crowns, princesses' crowns, all kinds of crowns of state. So it's kind of fun. The dragonfly also came from that same collection. This is clear glass. The color's coming from the back. It's an absolutely gorgeous button. But you might look at it and say, well, there's not a lot of stippling. And that's true. There's not a lot of stippling. But when you turn it over, it's got all the back treatment of a lacy glass. And so it definitely falls into lacy. And it's an insect, so that's a good one. This is just a lovely shaped button. It's very pretty, medium. The color is all coming from the back with lusters added to the front. And it's got the dimension of that flower up over the scalloped base. And I think it's an exceptionally pretty button. Solid body, light green. You can tell it when you look up at 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock where some of the paint is flaked off from the back. And this has got also this, it looks like the silver studs. Andrea.
So All of these are individual buttons in your collection. Do you also collect or compete with original button cards or just the individual buttons?
I don't, but people can and do, but I
Gotcha.
don't. I find them very hard to display. And lacy glass is my favorite, but I have buttons of all kinds. So even though I'm just showing you these, I I have lots of other loves.
How long have you been collecting?
I started collecting 40 years ago when my daughter was a teenager. She started and got me into it. And then she sold the whole collection, hers and mine. We each kept a tray, and she bought her first car. And then we proceeded along, and I got into my dotage, and I thought, I'm going to go back and pick up that hobby. So 10 years ago, I got into it fast and furious again.
Oh, very cool. Thank you.
My daughter and granddaughter just arrived tonight for Christmas. And so tomorrow we're going to celebrate Christmas. And then we're all going to the Daytona, Florida show. So that's fun. And they all come to the National, and we just a ball.
That's nice to have shopping buddies.
Oh, it is. Well, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, oh dear, she's going to see me. She's going to see that and get it first. Not your family, though. All right, this is a hexagon, which is a real lovely button, and it's got pearl chips glued into the back before the back treatment, the painting. So you see the iridescence of the pearl shining through. And that counts as another point because it's an OME, an other material embellishment. I get a point for that. I love this little button. Even though it's got a little chip. Celtic knot in a large size. It was one of my very first unusual lacy glass buttons. NBS Blue Book. This is the competitor's Bible. And if you go to nationalbuttonsociety.org, you can peruse the whole site pretty much a lot without being a member and find out a lot more about buttons. This is our reference. It's free with membership. You get 5 bulletins a year. There's a weekly button room where they gather via Zoom, and it's sort of like you guys probably do with your beading. They just gather and they all card buttons and talk and show things. It's an informal group. Then once a month, there's the button loop, which is the club. And then, of course, once a year, we have a week-long convention and competition and judging and sales. Mention state shows, not to mention your Minnesota state show, which Nancy's asked me to come and be the speaker this coming year. So I'm really excited to come and speak to the Minnesota button collectors. So bring them all together. And this is what you've got. This is what I've taken you through tonight. You mount them on a 9x12 cardstock. Made specially for buttons, some of them more intricate than others. This is like a double matted board so that each one sets in a little bit of a indentation. So you gather up as many rarities as you can, and you label all the important things that you think the judge should be aware of, and then you enter it into competition, and you get a blue ribbon. Of course, I switched out on you. I showed you another way. And so the other one won a blue ribbon, and this one won a blue ribbon this year. I did not pull apart all of these buttons, but at 11 o'clock, you can see a rare moth. And right below the moth, and you can hardly make it out, is a lady's head, which is just fabulous. And then another pin shank right under the spindle. And then a beautiful big oval with reddy colors. Oh, it's really gorgeous. And below that is one of my little favorites. It's an aqua glass clover. And was one of my real early buttons, and I just love it. And way over to the right in the bottom, you can see that there's a spotty red leaf. Some of you, I don't know if I identified what kind of leaf it is, but it's different. Doris, you had a question.
I have a question as to time period for the buttons on this card.
The buttons on this card mostly are from about 1880, 1890. And you can see I've got another crown there, and I've got another sunset. So some of the buttons, and I've got another back mark patented because I don't want to take them off once I win a ribbon. So some of them are worth investing in a couple of the same kind.
You ever do you have to strategize
Oh,
your plate? Because part of me
yeah.
feels like you might blow the competition away if you put all of your good buttons on the one.
Well, somebody that maybe didn't have all the rare ones could beat me if they made more careful choices. Let's say I wanted to put all my favorite buttons on here because they had pictorials, and I neglected to put my full body colored glass buttons on because they weren't as attractive and rare. Well, somebody comes along and can beat you. So it's all about choices. You have to kind of balance it all out and label it. If you forget to label what kind of shank you've got, you don't get a point for shank. If you forget to label that you've got a back mark button, you don't get a point for that either. So, yeah, it's hard to win on the national level.
Did you have a mentor or was it trial and error?
For me, it was pretty much trial and error. Yeah. So that one's the same. And thank you. These buttons are all from my collection, so I don't have to do any copyrights. And
Fabulous.
I'll take questions, and I can show you a couple of trays if you want to see them, or maybe I've bored you enough.
Oh, it's not boring. It's wonderful.
Yes, fabulous.
Maybe I can make you all into button collectors too, huh?
You
Oh,
talked about several
fabulous.
shows that are coming up. Do you want to lay out where and when those shows are? If people are in those neighborhoods and want to go?
All right. Nancy, can you comment on the Minnesota show?
Oh, maybe. It's Mother's Day weekend. It will be held at the what's it called now? It used to be the Radisson South.
Doubletree.
Doubletree. Thank you, Doris. Um, and yeah, so it's in May. Um, so in May, my husband and I are going to go on Doris's tour. This will be my third time, his first.
Ah.
She moved the date so that I could go. She moved it till after the Minnesota show.
Oh, I am so jealous. That's great.
So we'll be looking for lacy glass buttons there.
Well, now you've got a little background on what to look for.
Well, we don't usually see anything in from the 1880s over there unless
Oh,
our
no.
guide Krista was a button collector, and we have bought many, many things from her. Most of the ones you find in the antique stores over there are from the, 1950s or something like that. But they're still
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll be getting those modern glass, lacy glass buttons.
Yes, you get
Yes.
those at the museum, don't you? Don't they sell them?
And you should have went last year. They had a beautiful button exhibit in that museum in last May.
Yes, I saw the pictures. I got the book. I
Did you
bought
get the book? It's fantastic.
I got the book, so I wouldn't have to truck it home with me when I go in the fall. That's fabulous.
Nancy has to get it when we go this time because I had too much stuff. I was supposed to bring her one last May, and I had too much weight, so I could only bring mine. I couldn't bring one for her. So,
They are heavy. Yeah.
yes.
That's why I paid for it at the auction at our national last year, Springfield, Illinois, and I paid a lot more than you paid, but I don't have to truck it back. I've got it waiting for me now. The national convention is in July. Should be able to tell you the date, but I don't have it right handy. But if you go to nationalbuttonsociety.org, it'll be all up there, and it's in Manchester, New Hampshire. And next week is the Florida show at Daytona Beach, and it's a week long, and it'll be a ball. And
And is that where you live?
I'm about 2 hours from there. I'm in the center of the state, Sebring, right down south of Orlando.
I'm up in Eustis, Mount Dora.
You are?
Well, no, I will be in February.
Well, come down and see my buttons.
I just might have to do that.
I personally invite you. I'll make you a lunch.
Okay.
Oh, fun.
Okay, Doris, that would be a ball. Any other questions?
Vicki, this is
Is
Beanie.
I
Lacey
have
the
a question.
manufacturer? Why are they called Lacey?
Just because they look like little lace medallions.
Vicki, I have a question.
Sure.
I've never seen buttons like this. I'm a weaver. And I wonder, do you ever get to see the clothing with the buttons on from 1880?
Yes, Chris Parnham from Michigan, and she is quite a historian, and she has seen in the museum that she works in and photographs she has shared with me of garments with lacy glass buttons on them. It's kind of hard to imagine it, isn't it?
Oh, it sounds wonderful, doesn't it?
The big ones were cloak. A lot of the big ones held a cloak.
Yeah.
Two lacy glass leaves and then a turtle loop around it, and it would be
Oh, it
right.
must be wonderful.
Be beautiful.
I'm sure they are. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely speechless seeing them. And my daughter, who's Hannah Rosner, would probably be surprised to ever hear that I was ever speechless.
Really? I love it. That's great.
Fabulous.
Any other questions?
Yeah, could you show us Nancy's necklace that you own?
Yes, can you hold on a minute?
Sure.
I'll be back.
While she's gone, I'm going to tell you the Michigan show is at Albion, Michigan, which is down near the border, down close to Ohio. So it isn't that far from Minnesota. And it's going to be at the Isman House, which is a historic building that was built in 1890, and they use it for events. And we are going to have our show there, and it's the last weekend in April. So I hope somebody can just come across a couple states and come see us. I'm it's 4 days ago, I was Michigan president, but I'm now relaxing, and I'm just the past president. So anyway, I collect buttons just like all of the whole world of Button Dome is I collect them too. So they're fun. They really are fun.
Do you also compete, Susan?
Oh, yes, I do. Although, she doesn't mention numbers, but I'm not kidding. I work so hard on a tray, and some of them are 25 and some are 24. And so I put 25 buttons on a requirement that called for 24. Being president of Michigan, and here I can't even count. It was I never, you get the little directions, and so you'd think oh well, gee, I know that, I could do that, oh I can do that, and you start putting it together, and you get a tray out, and you start to fill in the blanks and everything, and then you never go back and look at the directions actually. And so I think that's what I did. I just totally thought it was 25 and it was 24. So you got to count too. So but it's a very fun hobby, really is.
I
So
think it's fabulous. I never really realized. I mean, I noticed that there was button societies and there were shows, but I guess I never did research to find out how many there are, or different locations and things like that. So that's something we might have to think about putting
I
on
think
the list.
the National Button Society has like 2,600 members, something like that.
yeah. It's I don't know. It's certainly, as I've aged, I've become more and more. I don't know. When you reach 70, you get that mandatory money you have to take out of your IRA. Well, now that I'm over 70, I bought I have to make sure my husband's not listening, but I spend a lot of it right there. Oh my gosh,
Good for you.
it's fun. It really is.
Fabulous. I love it.
Yeah.
You can highlight me. There.
There. Oh,
Oh my
pretty.
gosh. Oh,
Oh, that is beautiful.
Nancy.
It keeps going up to my face. I get it down there and it.
stand up or something. There you go. Okay, good. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
Oh my heavens. Oh, gee, that is.
Had to get it out of the safe, Nancy.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful
Yeah.
work. Wow.
Oh,
What a treasure. What a treasure.
It really is.
Yes,
They're
it
fun
is.
to make. Thank you.
Took a lot of time too.
I wear it proudly. I wore it right after the convention for a picture so they put it in the bulletin. So Nancy's artwork would go. Yes.
Nancy, does Nancy do studio buttons?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got one for Christmas. She was my secret Santa and I was so thrilled.
Oh, that is nice. That's wonderful.
That's fabulous.
Any other questions? Well, maybe I'll see you all at the Minnesota show.
Yeah, that would be super fun. We're so excited. This was so inspirational. And now I just want to go through and dig through my button boxes and see what I've overlooked, you know?
Okay, don't hesitate to contact me. You've got my email. And hi, Susan, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm coming to Susan's house Saturday.
Right, she is.
We bought a collection together and we're gonna divvy it up.
Oh, wow.
Should be fun.
Yes, it will.
It will be lots of fun.
I just want it said that these two probably buy a lot more expensive buttons than I do.
Yeah, but you start off with the poke boxes and you know, and then you become engaged totally in it, and then you start to spend money. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nancy brings her beads her buttons that she bought to our Wednesday bead group, and we all ooh and ah over them.
Oh, neat.
Yes.
That's
great. And if I buy an estate that has buttons in it, Nancy gets first choice.
Nice.
Oh, that is very nice.
Great. That's fabulous.
Yeah. I think I bought a Christmas tree, a rhinestone Christmas tree from Doris, maybe, because that name is familiar. And
she sells them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, because I bought several of them and I wanted to buy more, but she didn't have any more for me to buy. So.
I'll get more in May again when we go see our favorite antique shop.
Okay, well, keep me in mind. Save some for me. Don't.
Okay.
I'll send you my email so you can let me know.
Hang on a minute. I might have one.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
my
I think
little
she brought those to the retreat. We were ooh and ah on them, I think. If I'm thinking the same ones.
Okay, Becky, I have to ask about your last name.
Yes.
Does it have like a Norwegian background and maybe
German? Actually, it probably was Pannekuchen and got changed on Ellis Island.
I love it. Oh my God.
My children did it.
What's that? What'd you say?
I said my children didn't, growing up how other kids tease.
I bet. I bet. I love it. I think it's great. And I love Pannekuchen, so yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're off camera. There you go.
Oh, wow. Those are beautiful. Are they on your website now?
No, these are actually, when I go, I'm a member of the Czech Heritage Club here in Minnesota.
Okay.
And so I buy stuff for them to sell at their booth. And this is actually one of the factories we visit.
Oh, okay.
So these are earrings and they're $14 a pair.
$40 a pair.
14.
14. Well, I'd like 2 pair.
Do you want one of each color or 2 of each color?
One of each color.
Okay.
Sold, huh? Doris, will you write to me the
Doris,
name?
that
Now
was
I'm gonna have to look you up on Facebook because I think it was. I'm trying to think. What was the website? Was
Beads,
it?
beadsbyd.com.
Okay, that's it. Okay, beadsbyd.com. I'll look it up and then we'll figure out how to get you some money.
And I buy I think I still have a couple of the rhinestone Christmas trees, the big ones left.
Oh, do you really?
4-inch ones.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I still have my display up. I'll leave them up for Vicki to see when she comes.
That's
Yeah, and I know I have some
Yes.
tree pins, but they're in a different box.
right.
Okay.
Doris, will you write to me the name of that factory that maybe I can get to see?
Who said that, Vicki?
Vicki.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll get you whatever. I'll have to look it up.
Okay, thank you. If no one has any more questions, I'm going to bid you adieu because I'm having Christmas.
All right.
Say
my
bye
gosh.
to the girls for me.
Yeah. Happy
Thank
Christmas,
you.
everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bye.